Hello, welcome to the Daydreamer Podcast. This is Kasia speaking, your host. I hope the beginning of this year has been treating you well and things are starting to be smoother than last year. And I don't know, where are you based in the world, because which is so lovely, people that are listening are based around the world. Um, Currently in the UK, we have the weather started to get warmer, but it's very gloomy. It's a very wet January. Um, to be honest, really struggle to go back to my routine. And I read something before we go into this podcast. I wanted to say something for whoever needs to hear that, because I feel like there's a lot of pressure to be on your best very soon into January, because you have this setting up or resolutions for 2026, the business plans, exercising, eating. But I saw something that really resonated with me, that the nature is still sleeping, the animals are still sleeping. Everything is slow. Our energy is slow. The sun is almost not there most of the time. So it's actually okay if you're struggling. Like I'm struggling. I must say, I am struggling. I'm trying to lose some weight that I gained from overeating after wedding stress went away, and I was very cold, so I didn't feel like running, even though I see runners outside the window, and I'm like, oh my god, they are much more motivated than me, and I do enjoy running. Or it's raining, and I don't know, I can't even. I struggle some days to get out of bed or take my supplements, the more disgusting ones. So that's okay. The more winter will start giving space to the spring, the more sunny hours we will have, the easier it will be to start doing everything that you want to do. I decided to do one thing at a time, because I had this amazing idea that I will wake up today, do yoga lattes, the yoga and Pilates combo, and then I will, of course, I will do lymphatic massage, I will do the dry brushing, then I will do some work like recording, editing, then I have some networking in the afternoon. I want to do some exercises, and it made me feel really overwhelmed. I get easily overwhelmed if there is too much stimuli. So I was like, my stomach started to feel a bit tight. It's like, my God, I have too many things to do this week. So yeah, one step at a time. I plan one day ahead, and I have one main or couple things to achieve in a day. I decided to let go of yoga lattes today, let go of lymphatic drainage massage or dry brushing, have my warm water, have my nice breakfast, do my work, and then do the exercises I planned. But I cut down this day. And remember that December is typically very intensive for different reasons. Either it's super intensive because of the family stuff, or you're cooking, preparing, cleaning. I don't know how much you do for Christmas. Are you decorating the whole house? Do you have to deal with whole family giving you some remarks at the table, or do you actually spend it like alone and felt lonely? Do you miss someone? It's a beautiful time. I love this time, but I know it can be very difficult for some people. So we just got out of that. We are coming to middle of January only. Let ourselves breathe. Let our body breathe. Let our mind breathe. Without it, we would just be running on empty. I don't want running on empty. I want to relax and take small steps that will make me feel, that I'm doing something towards this, the direction I want to go to be healthier. But it doesn't have to be forced, because we're trying to force stuff. It's giving much more frustration. So that's the intro. Like, it's actually pre-intro, because what I wanted to discuss today in the podcast, it's something completely different. It's something that I have the most clients coming to me with, which I started thinking that, how you have to have a niche. I mean, podcast, I'm not planning to do a niche other than just spirituality mixed with psychology. But how you business-wise, you have to have a niche to solve specific problems. I feel like my niche might have chosen me, which is women. It doesn't have to be only women that struggle with this, but most of the spiritual clients, most of the psychotherapy clients, hypnotherapy clients are women. So my clients are women, mostly 99%. And they struggle in one way or another with relationships. A lot of romantic relationships. And the most common pattern that I see is this chasing of a man. Like I said, use whatever type of partner you're chasing, if you are whatever feels right for you. But I will be giving examples of my clients, so I will be talking about women chasing men. And it's typically how it looks like. There is this amazing woman, really amazing woman, that has so much going on in her life. And she would be so happy if she knew how much she's really worth. But there is this guy that she cannot forget about. That's either someone she knows for many years, or this was very sudden emotion that came up when she met this guy, so it's something fresher, but more often it's on and off for many years. So it's not even that this guy doesn't have feelings for her. No, he is just very lost in his own emotional world. He's not fully available. He might be in a relationship, or he's forever single. And it's not even, if that was just a case of unrequited love, in a way of he doesn't want her, so she needs to move on, that would be easy. What's the problem here? That these guys, these men, give breadcrumbs, right? So he will be promising to show up and doesn't for months. But every time in between, he will. What popped up to my mind now, it's like these catfish programs. So someone doesn't want you to know who they are, because they are pretending to be someone else, and they will be very long, procrastinating the meeting or video or whatever, to feel like whatever situation that will show you who they really are. And maybe it's not the same, because this is the person, they're not asking you for money, hopefully, but what the connection, I think, is here, that actually they don't want you to know who they are. And I will talk about it a bit later in the podcast, about reasoning why this is happening, what is going on in this relationship. But that's the problem. This up and down, emotional up and down in the relationship. It gives so much space for the brain to start filling it with fantasy, idealizing someone, putting on a pedestal. Brain doesn't like gaps. Like, it doesn't like to be left without answer. This is another thing, because you might never have a straight answer, or you might have one day, don't love you, leave me alone, and the next message, are you feeling all right? Or how are you? How have you been? Like nothing ever happened, right? So that's where you start creating a person that doesn't exist. This amazing partner that you could have spent your life with, you could be so happy with, completely ignoring that he's either cheating on the woman he's with, or that he's very emotionally immature, that you can see how he's acting. So then you start creating this fantasy. And this fantasy, brain is not really good at differentiating reality from fantasy, what's happening in your, what you're imagining. So you are imagining this amazing life. Let's say maybe you're imagining wedding, maybe you're imagining having children, maybe imagining, growing old together. And this makes you fall in love even more. And not to mention that with this roller coaster of up and down of emotion, today yes, tomorrow no, we are amazing when we are together, but then I'm crying all the time. That is addictive. And that creates even stronger emotions, but it creates toxic love. It creates toxic connection. It's very difficult to differentiate that if you haven't been in a healthy relationship. And I would guess you haven't, because if you have been, you probably wouldn't fall for that, because you would see the red flags. You would see that this is not love, this is toxic love, this is addiction, this is not good for you. Love relationship takes a lot of work, but it shouldn't be that difficult. Which is another thing that you need to take a look at. What are your thoughts? What are your beliefs around love? What kind of relationships have you observed through your life? How were your parents? Which is also interesting that bad relationship between the parents can cause issues for like looking for a partner. The too good relationship between parents can cause so much pressure to find exactly the same idea of love that also can cause trouble. It's like almost, I can't win, right? But no, don't worry, everything can be worked through. I was there, right? I was there with you. The amount of years that I lost chasing unavailable, emotionally immature men, that is insane. Like, I thank God I don't regret things in life, and I just feel like that was needed. That was my lesson, and I'm glad that it never worked out with anyone. It's also almost like I was waiting to move to London and meet my husband, which just came out like, the story had a happy end. But something that I need to say also, it's not like I was living in this imaginary world when I'm chasing and loving people that just don't want to be with me in reality, even though they were leaving breadcrumbs. I have been in psychotherapy for many, many years. So even though I was struggling, I was working on myself, on my emotions. That's the most important thing, heart. It's all about heart. I specialize in emotions, and really, emotions are the clue to everything. All the physical issues, mental issues, the really, there is so much behind emotions and how we block them and what it does to us. So I did a really lot of work to be in a healthy relationship. And now being in a healthy relationship, I can see the difference. What is toxic love? What is mature love? It is different. It is very different. And I do hope you will see that at some point, because like I said, here's a happy end. But it can last so many years that you may wake up when it's a bit too late. I mean, it's never too late for love, but you may wake up so late in your life feeling that you have never experienced a healthy relationship. And I'm not talking in your 30s, right? It can be 40s, 50s. Really, people are chasing into these 50s, probably even more. So, yes, be careful, right? The warning here is to just be careful to not to lose too much time and, look at the facts, right? Look at the facts, not what this person is saying, doing like, do they want to be with you? Are they single? Are they actively trying to be with you? Are they loyal? Because it can be also about the cheaters. So forget about fantasy. And another very, very, very important thing, and this is for specifically for my podcast, because this is now a spiritual angle. So all my spiritual seekers, listeners, now listen carefully. Universe tries to screw you over when you meet a karmic person, karmic relationship, karmic connection. You will start getting signs that you will live forever together in happiness, that one day it will happen. You will have dreams, visions. Even the tarot goes crazy. I'm so used to, I've always felt like tarot is the easiest thing ever. I've been doing it for, 17 years. So I could do it in the middle of my night, just shuffle cards and tell you what's there. With my clients, it's often so tricky to know what the tarot is saying, because the karmic connection is really messing up the energies and it can start showing beautiful things. Thankfully, I have my, own filter, and it's like, I know what's going on. I see beautiful love cards, and I heard that this guy, and I know the client, so the guy hasn't been, around for properly for years or months, and it doesn't sound good. But the cards are showing this beautiful emotional cards, love, happiness. It's picking up on a connection, because it's not that this guy doesn't have feelings for you. He has, but he is emotionally mature. He doesn't think he's worthy of you. That's a very often thing. There's a lot of mirroring happening here, I can tell you that. You are chasing someone who doesn't want you because you don't feel worthy enough for a healthy, loving relationship. And this person is pushing you away because they don't feel worthy of you. So you're mirroring the same thing. But it's not your job to heal anybody else. Right? If this person commits to doing the work, maybe they change. Maybe you can be together. If you also commit to doing your work, it might turn out that once you do your work, you can see, wow, how have I ever been connected with this person, right? How was I ever attracted to them on any level? Because your like benchmark or whatever you're going after just change. Your frequency changes, so you're opening up to the completely new pool. So yeah, like be careful with the signs, be careful with the intuition. It might be fake intuition. I know it's almost like being left in a blind, where you just like, so how are you supposed to know? If you are used to, as a spiritual person, probably used to use a lot of spiritual intuition, vision, meditation for support in this, in every area, and you cannot trust it here. So it's almost like your third eye is being taken away from you, and you may be used to navigating your world a lot with the third eye. It is good sometimes to ask someone objective, but in the situations like that, we don't want to listen, because the hope is so strong, the love is so strong. There is also another thing that really happens here. It's it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you are like guarding your heart because you don't want to get hurt. And you have these beliefs that love hurts. So you are looking for partners that will hurt you, to prove your own point. Things that we are not aware that are happening in our mind will be ruling us. So it's really good to go onto this discovery mission of your own weaknesses, because it's a completely different thing to make a conscious choice to follow something wrong. If you made a conscious choice, you can have a conscious and anything bad that happens, that follows, you know why it happened. It's a very bad place to be when you don't know why things are happening, and you need to take this responsibility of where you are in life, right? So it is a lot of times, like most of the times in the situations that I see, you have your heart protected with a protection wall that it's supposed to save you from the hurt. Yes, loving someone to the level you want to experience, it makes your heart feel like your heart is expanding, right? Potential losing that person is just something it's difficult to imagine, right? So there is a lot of fear around opening your heart, but it's one of the most important things. If you have a frequency of closed off heart, you are attracting into your aura, into your frequency, into your energy, people that are the same. Two emotionally unavailable people will not make a nice relationship. So focus on self-exploration, focus on working through your opening your heart, right? To start living a bit with your heart open. And even, getting hurt might be a part of the deal. I also heard something that resonated with me recently, that, it's also about resilience. If you get hurt with open heart, it will be excruciating, but it builds resiliency for the world, which is also important. And just remember that you're doing it for yourself. So I will just sum up the main important wounds that you have here. So there is wound and that you both have. I'm not good enough. So there's both of you that is mirroring that I'm not good enough, and this chase. It's just stereotypical pattern that the man is hiding away, that the woman is chasing. Runner versus chaser, it does sound a bit like twin flames, doesn't it? But not every relationship is a twin flame. The karmic one can really mess you up also. Yeah, so I'm not good enough. I'm afraid to be loved. I'm afraid to love. And also what I said at the beginning, this part of not wanting to show who they really are. Yeah, because this is part of I'm not good enough. So if you knew who they are afraid that if you knew who they really are, they got too close, you would reject them. So they reject you. And I don't want to sound very pessimistic here, but these stories often end in this person moving on with another woman. And that would be, that's the end to the majority of these stories. Or forever single, another woman, or you choose to live many years. The longest I think I've heard someone waiting for someone, and in the end, this one potentially worked. They are together. I don't know how happy they are, but I know that there was a lot of rough moments. I think 8 years, even more than that. So this is how much life you can actually lose. But don't, I know you get hot to the zone, but it worked out in the end. It doesn't have to though. It really doesn't have to. So start getting grounded. Alright, start getting grounded. So you can see the reality. Don't follow the fantasy. Follow actually what's going on. In this one, I love spirituality, but in this one you have to get down to earth, and you have to just think with your head, and don't let your intuition put you in a very, very unhealthy situation. Also when you're trying to move other way, there is this universe that you will get a test to pull you back in. Are you fully ready? Are you fully ready? Alright, I also pulled two cards from my deck. As you may remember, this deck is very homemade because I'm working on it. One is throat chakra blocked, and the other is door is wide open. You know what? Before I even pulled that, I thought of throat chakra, because it feels to me that it's important also, because its heart opens up all that emotion, but the throat chakra, this expressing your emotion, expressing your truth, being more assertive in your truth. Of course, it's all connected system. So if I said that I've talked about it in the previous ones, that you actually have to unblock all of them, so there's no flooding, or there are no blockages of the energy. But heart and throat. So it seems like people that are listening to this podcast, your throat chakra needs some work. Stand up for yourself. Speak your truth. This is what comes to me very strongly. Speak your truth. And I have this second one, door is wide open. It means that don't take it as the door is wide open for this relationship, because that's not the message. The door is wide open for you to make a change and start living a happy life, fulfilled, You just need to turn. This is what I can visualize, what's now popping up in my head. You are fork in the road, and go the other way and see how the magic happens. And this is it for today. Thank you so much for listening, for tuning in. If you enjoy what you're hearing, or wherever you listening or watching, like, comment, review, subscribe, everything that helps me. And maybe let me know what else would you like to listen about from the spiritual psychology subjects. Just let me know. Thank you so much. Bye bye.